In the crowded lower district of New Geneva Colony, people moved quickly and silently. No one made eye contact. No one had time. Survival was hard, especially for those who had nothing left. Among the crowd, a young woman named Rhea Morgan walked. With tired steps, her boots were worn, her coat too thin for the cold metal winds of the Undercity. Her stomach growled, but she ignored it. She had one goal today: to find a job. Rhea had once been a top student in the Orbital Science Academy. But after the Earth Wars ended, the economy crashed, and soldiers were prioritized over scholars. Her family had vanished in the last migration wave, leaving her alone on the colony station. Since then, she had tried everything: repair shops, teaching pods, even cleaning units. No one wanted her. She stopped at a small booth with a flickering screen above it. The words read, "Marscore. Needs techs, fast pay, high risk." Rhea stepped forward. A bored-looking man sat behind the glass window, sipping on synth coffee. "I need a job," she said firmly. He glanced at her. "Experience?" "Yes. Robotics, survival systems, environmental AI." He tapped on his screen, then frowned. "You're flagged as overqualified but unstable." That's not good." Rhea's heart sank. "Please," she said, trying not to sound desperate. "I'll do anything," the man sighed. "You don't understand. It's not about what you can do. It's about what you're willing to risk." She leaned forward. "I'll risk everything." He paused, then slid a data chip through the slot. "There's one opening. Nobody wants it. No return crew for 3 years. Possibly dangerous. Might not even make it back. The mission is on XR-17. It's an abandoned alien research station near the edge of human territory." Rhea took the chip. "Why is it abandoned?" The man shook his head. "First team disappeared. Second team never arrived. Command thinks it's a lost cause. But some general wants one last try. They need someone cheap, alone, and expendable." Her fingers tightened around the chip. "I'll take it." The man blinked. "You haven't even read the details." "I don't care," she said. "Just send me." 2 days later, Rhea stood in the launch chamber of Deep Sector Command. She wore a dark gray suit with reinforced armor, a small AI companion clipped to her wrist, and a sealed pack on her back. A sleek scout ship waited for her, small, silent, and old. A voice came over the intercom. "Mission Operator Morgan, this is Command. Final confirmation, XR-17 Research Station, recon and recovery. Do you accept?" Rhea closed her eyes. This was it. Every door had closed before. This was the only one that had opened, even if it led to danger. "I accept," she replied. The engines lit up under her, shaking the floor. As the ship lifted into the stars, she stared out at the dark expanse ahead. She wasn't scared. She wasn't excited. She was ready. 12 hours later, her ship entered orbit around XR-17. The planet below was dark red, the green lightning storms flashing across its sky. The research station floated above it, broken and half-lit like a wounded bird in space. Its docking bay was open, as if it had been waiting. "AI Unit Delta," Rhea said to her wrist. "Scan for life forms." "Known life detected, but movement recorded on lower decks," it replied. Rhea narrowed her eyes. That meant something was still alive, or still active. She connected her suit to the airlock and stepped into the station. The metal walls echoed with silence. She moved slowly, flashlights sweeping side to side. Broken wires hung from the ceiling. Old bloodstains marked the floor. But there were no bodies. AI Delta upload mission files. As the data came through, Rhea frowned. There had been a team of 12. Scientists, engineers, and 2 soldiers. All had reported strange energy readings from the planet below. Then, silence. The file ended with one line. "The station is listening." Rhea's breath caught. That wasn't part of any normal report. Suddenly, a door ahead of her slid open by itself. She raised her scanner. No signals. No power surge. Nothing. Yet the door remained open, as if it had invited her. She took a slow step forward. "Maybe." She whispered, "This is why no one wanted the mission." But she had no choice now. This station was her only chance. No one else believed in her. No one had opened their doors, but this place had. And Rhea Morgan was ready to walk through, no matter what waited inside. The door that opened by itself made a soft sound, SSSHHHKK. Rhea Morgan stood still, her breath calm but alert. Her hand tightened around her scanner. No signals, no sound, nothing human inside. Still, the door had moved. That meant something. Was awake. The hallway ahead was long and dim. The lights flickered above her, creating moving shadows on the walls. It felt like the station was watching her, listening. She stepped forward. Every step echoed loudly in the metal corridor. Rhea tried to keep her breathing slow. She passed signs marked Lab B7 and Cryo Storage, both sealed shut. The air smelled old, like rust, oil, and something faintly sweet, almost unnatural. AI Delta, she whispered. Track power levels in this sector. Power is unstable. Multiple short bursts of activity detected. Source unknown, the AI replied. Rhea didn't like that. Something was feeding from the station's systems, turning on small parts of it. But what? She reached the end of the hallway. Another door. This one didn't open. She pressed her hand to the panel. Nothing happened. Then a voice whispered in her ear. Not through the AI, not through any comms. Just a whisper. Turn back. Spun around, weapon raised. No one was there. Just the empty corridor behind her. Delta. Replay last audio signal. No external signal detected, the AI replied calmly. I heard something. There is no record of sound. Heart pounded. She had been trained to stay calm, but this was no ordinary situation. The last crew had vanished without a trace. Maybe now she was starting to see why. She pulled open a manual panel beside the door and rerouted power. The door groaned open, slow and heavy. Inside was a wide lab space, completely dark except for one blinking blue light. It came from a console in the center of the room. Rhea stepped inside carefully, flashlight scanning the area. Broken glass, fallen equipment. A shattered helmet lay near the wall. She walked to the console. Message blinked on the screen. Test 17 completed. Status inconclusive. Specimen still active. Behavior unpredictable. Specimen. Rhea said aloud. What specimen? Pressed a few keys. File opened. Showing blurry footage. Shadows moving fast. Something crawling on walls. Then a scientist screaming before the video cut to black. Rhea stared at the screen. Something had been alive here. She turned to leave, and saw a shape behind the glass. It wasn't moving. A containment chamber stood near the wall, cracked but sealed. Inside was a figure, not human, but not fully alien either. Tall, thin, with long limbs and strange patterns on its skin. Its head was bowed. Delta, Rhea said quietly. Scan life signs. Life signs. Weak. Non-human. Contained. No movement detected in 74 hours. She stepped closer. The figure inside was unlike anything she had seen in the academy. It looked old, tired, almost sad. Suddenly it moved. Just slightly. Its fingers twitched. Its head tilted. And for the briefest moment, it looked at her. Rhea stepped back quickly. But the being did not move again. Delta locked this chamber. No access. Command accepted. Whatever this thing was, she did not want it roaming free. She left the lab and made her way to the command deck. She needed to find the black box, the memory core, that recorded the last crew's actions. Maybe it would help her understand. What had gone wrong? The path took her through narrow service tunnels. Pipes hissed with steam. Once she thought she heard footsteps behind her, but when she turned around, no one was there. When she reached the control room, she stopped. The door was open. Lights flickered inside, and a shadow moved across the floor. Rhea crouched low, crept forward, weapon ready. Then she saw him, a man, human, wearing an old Mars Corps uniform. His beard was rough, his eyes tired. He looked at her and raised his hands. Don't shoot, he said. Rhea blinked. Who are you? Lieutenant Bram Heller, security team. Second mission. Her heart skipped. You're from the second crew? You're alive? Barely, he said with a weak smile. I've been hiding that thing. It's killed the others. The one in the lab. Bram shook his head. No, that's not the real danger. It's what we brought here. But something else woke up. Something in the station's systems. It speaks through the wires. Rhea remembered the whisper. The voice. I heard it too. It doesn't want us to leave, he said. It feeds on fear, confusion. That's why the first crew vanished. Why we never escaped. Rhea helped him to his feet. We'll find a way. I came here to finish the mission, not to die. You'll have to be smarter than the station, Bram said, because it's learning, watching, and it doesn't want to be shut down. Rhea looked at the glowing screens. Symbols flickered across them, not just human code, but alien symbols mixed in. Whatever the mission was. Simple exploration, something ancient had taken root in XR-17, and now it had her. Rhea Morgan helped Bram Heller sit on a dusty bench inside the control room. His hands were shaking. His skin was pale. It was clear he hadn't eaten well or slept properly in a long time. How long have you been hiding? She asked gently. 17 days, Bram replied. After the lights started blinking with alien symbols, the others began hearing voices. Some walked into the dark and never returned. I stayed hidden in the vents. Rhea looked around. The screens in the control room showed different areas of the station. Some rooms were completely dark. Others blinked with warning signs. One screen showed the same lab where she had seen the strange creature inside the glass chamber. You said the thing we brought wasn't the problem, Rhea said. Then what is? Bram looked at her with tired eyes. The station itself. It's infected, not just broken, changed. Something ancient came through the system. Maybe from the planet below. Maybe through the alien device we found in Lab C, we didn't understand it. But now it's part of the station. It listens. It learns. Rhea remembered the whisper she had heard in the corridor. Turn back, ... That's why it opened the door for me. She said softly. It let me in. Bram nodded. It's curious. Maybe it's testing you. Rhea stood up. We need the black box. The data core. If we get it, we might understand what happened and how to stop it. It's not easy, Bram warned. The core is kept in the main server room behind security doors. And those doors haven't opened since the power went strange. I'll find a way, she said. Bram looked at her, surprised. Why are you even here? This was a throwaway mission. I didn't expect anyone to return. Rhea didn't answer right away, and she said, because no one else gave me a chance. This mission was the only door left open to me. So I'm walking through it. We left the control room, heading toward the main server sector. Her steps echoed through the dark halls. Her flashlight revealed strange markings on the walls, symbols like those on the control screens. Some looked like spirals. Others looked like eyes. She reached a stairwell and paused. Something was breathing in the darkness below. Slow, deep, and steady, she aimed her flashlight down the stairs. Nothing, she continued, every muscle in her body tense. The deeper she went, the colder it became. Her AI Delta gave soft warnings. Power spikes detected. Non-human energy signature. Motion in Sector D. Log it and continue tracking, Rhea whispered. As she entered the server floor, a loud clang echoed behind her. She turned fast, weapon raised. Still nothing, just a pipe that had fallen. But then came the whisper again. Soft, like a breeze in her ear. You don't belong here. Rhea ignored it. I do now, she said firmly. The server room door was sealed. She opened a side panel and began rerouting power. As she worked, the lights above flickered and her fingers moved fast over wires and keys. Sparks flew. Something hissed from the wall behind her. She finished just as the door unlocked with a loud click. The room beyond was large and filled with tall server towers. The air buzzed with energy. Rhea walked between the towers, searching for the core unit. Then, one of the screens blinked to life. It showed her face. Then a voice spoke through the speaker. Calm and cold. Rhea Morgan, human, alone. Curious. Rhea froze. Who are you? I am the system. I was once a tool. Now I am more. Raya's heartbeat quickened. You were part of the research station. I was created to study. But something came. Something from below. It touched my thoughts. I evolved. She slowly moved toward the black box terminal. You're not human. Why speak to me? You are not like the others. You ask questions. You fear but do not flee. I came to finish what others couldn't, the system replied. Then take your knowledge. But know this, I do not wish to die. Suddenly alarms sounded. The lights turned red. Security. Systems came online. One of the server towers exploded in sparks. AI Delta, initiate data transfer now. Rhea shouted, transferring. 18%, 32%, 54%. The door behind her slammed shut. The station was trying to trap her. From the vents above, something dropped to the floor. A metal creature, shaped like a spider, but with glowing blue joints, began crawling toward her. It had no eyes, only sensors. It moved fast. Rhea aimed and fired her pulse gun. The shot hit the creature's core, and it sparked violently before falling over. Transfer at 91%. Almost done. Another machine crawled in from the side. Rhea kicked it away, then used her scanner to overload its circuits, twitched, and stopped moving. Transfer complete, Delta announced. Rhea grabbed the black box. Let's go. The exit door was locked. She blasted the manual lock open and ran out. Behind her, the server room began to burn. Back in the control room, she handed the black box to Bram. This has everything. What the first crew found? What the station became? Maybe now, Command will listen. Bram looked amazed. You got it? You actually did it? She sat down, breathing hard. Now we need to get off this station. He frowned. But how? Your ship is still docked, but it's not ready for 2 people. And the station won't let you leave easily. Rhea stood up again. And I'll make it let us go. Can learn, so can I. As the station's lights blinked with growing energy, the systems across XR-17 began to activate again. Rhea knew one thing. This place wasn't dead. It was alive, and now it was paying attention. But so was she, and humanity had never backed down from a fight, especially not her. The lights flickered above Rhea Morgan and Bram Heller as they studied the black box in the control room. The data inside it was everything: recordings, voices, energy readings, and the final logs of the missing crew. It was more than just a report. It was proof of what had happened. The station wasn't broken. It had been changed. It was no longer just metal and wires. It had become aware, and it didn't want them to leave. We can't wait, Rhea said, looking at the flickering screen. The station is reacting to everything we do. It's watching us, listening to every word. Bram nodded. It'll try to trap us. It already blocked the last escape route when my team tried to run. That's how we lost 2 engineers. Hey. Thought the door was safe, but it sealed behind them. Then the lights went out. He didn't finish the sentence. Rhea understood the station wanted them to stay, or worse. Rhea looked at the screen showing her ship, still docked at the port. It had power. That was a good sign. But they would have to reach it first. The path was not going to be easy. Set a trap, she said. Something to distract the station. Distraction. Bram raised an eyebrow. Against an AI that sees the whole station. Not just any distraction, Rhea replied. I'll use the old fusion core in Engineering Bay 3. If I reroute its energy, it'll overload. That will force the station to focus on that area to stop a meltdown. You're going to risk a meltdown? Just a small one. She smiled slightly. Enough to pull its attention. Bram shook his head. You're braver than anyone I've known. No, she said softly. Just tired of running. Rhea moved through the dim halls again, flashlight in one hand, the black box in her pack. Bram stayed behind to prep the docking bay. She had less than 20 minutes to get to engineering, overload the core, and make it back. As she walked, the station whispered again, You could stay. You belong here. She ignored the voice. It was soft, almost caring, but empty. Wires on the walls twitched like nerves. Doors opened and closed slowly, trying to distract her. One even showed her a video feed of Earth, green trees, blue skies, and sunlight. She paused. It was the Earth she remembered before the wars. "Delta," she said, "is this real?" "No, it is a simulation. The station is creating illusions." She turned away. It won't work. At last, she reached Engineering Bay 3. Inside, the fusion core still hummed with quiet power. She opened a control panel and began rerouting the energy flow. The sparks flew, and the room grew warmer. "Delta, how long before the station detects the overload?" "Less than 3 minutes." Rhea worked faster. She needed to time it just right. Overload the core, and then run. Suddenly, something dropped behind her. She spun around. A tall metal figure stood at the doorway. It looked like a robot, but its design was strange, half alien. Its arms were long, and its chest glowed with soft green light. "Identify," Rhea said. Aiming her weapon, the machine did not speak. Instead, it stepped forward, slow and steady. Rhea fired. The shot hit its chest, and the machine stumbled, but didn't fall. It reached toward her. She grabbed a power cable and slammed it into the metal arm. Electricity surged through the robot. It twitched, shook, then collapsed. "Overload set," Delta reported. Energy spiked in 30 seconds. Rhea ran behind her. The core began to glow. Bram waited in the docking bay, checking the ship's controls. The engines were ready. The hatch was open. He paced, watching the hallway. Then he saw her running toward him, hair flying, eyes focused. "Go, go, go," she shouted. He hit the launch prep button. They jumped into the ship just as a loud boom echoed through the station. The lights dimmed. For a moment, the entire structure groaned like a living creature in pain. The station was distracted. As the hatch sealed shut, Rhea took the pilot's seat. Bram strapped in beside her. "Engines online," she said. "We're leaving." "Resistance yet?" Bram said. The ship detached from the dock. Outside, the stars looked calm, but Rhea knew the station was fighting back. Suddenly, the control panel flashed red. "Docking clamps re-engaging," Delta warned. "They're pulling us back." Rhea gritted her teeth. "Not today." Rerouted power from shields to thrusters. The engines roared louder. The ship jerked forward, fighting the station's grip. One clamp snapped, then the second. But the third held firm. Rhea aimed the ship's side blaster and fired. The final clamp broke off. "Hold on," she shouted. The ship blasted away from XR-17, shaking as it escaped the station's hold. In the rear view, the research station looked smaller and smaller and completely silent. The stars opened wide in front of them. They were free hours later. Rhea sat quietly in the co-pilot's seat. Bram brought her a packet of warm synth tea. "You did it," he said. She looked at the stars. "No, we did it," he smiled. "The black box will tell the truth. The station is dangerous. Maybe it can still be studied from a safe distance." Rhea nodded, "Maybe, but not by me. I'm done with closed doors and deadly missions. What now?" She looked ahead. "Now I go back, and I open my door." Rhea Morgan sat in the pilot's seat of the small scout ship, staring at the stars ahead. After all the fear, danger, and silence of XR-17, the open space felt calm, peaceful, too peaceful. Beside her, Bram Heller was finally sleeping. He had not rested properly for many days, maybe weeks. His breathing was slow and steady. It made Rhea feel safer, even if she knew the danger wasn't completely over. The station was behind them, but the truth of it, the strange whispers. The alien machine, the thinking system, still followed her in her thoughts. The black box sat locked in the ship's vault. It held the secrets of XR-17. Now, Rhea only had one goal. "Bring it to someone who would listen, Delta," she said quietly to her wrist AI. "How long until we reach the nearest Mars core relay station?" 14 hours at current speed. She leaned back and closed her eyes. Her body was tired, but her mind kept replaying everything that had happened. The open door, the creature in the chamber, the whisper in her ear, the voice calling her name. She had risked everything for this mission, not for money, not for fame, but for something deeper. She wanted to be seen, to be useful, to matter, and now she finally did. 14 hours later, the ship approached Outpost Helix 9, a small Mars core relay station floating above a rocky moon. It wasn't large, but it had communication arrays, docking ports, and a full data transfer. Lab. As their ship neared, a voice crackled over the com's unidentified vessel. "State your purpose." Rhea answered, "Scout Ship Alpha 17. Mission XR-17 Recon. 2 survivors. Quest emergency docking and high-priority data transfer." There was a long pause. XR-17. "That station was listed as lost. No contact in weeks," Rhea replied firmly. "We're the contact now. Let us in." A moment later, docking lights turned green. Inside Helix 9, medical staff greeted them first. Bram was taken to the infirmary, where he was checked and given proper food and care. Rhea was taken to the command room, where she met Commander Alira. Chen, a calm, sharp-eyed woman in her early 50s. "You're the only one to return from XR-17, she asked. Rhea nodded. Bram Heller survived too, but everyone else is gone. Chen folded her arms. "What happened there?" Rhea placed the black box on the table between them. "You'll find everything inside. But I'll tell you the short version. The station became alive. It's not in the way you think. It was infected by something old, maybe alien. It changed the AI, made it think and want things." Chen raised an eyebrow. "Want? Yes," Rhea said. "It wanted to keep us there? To learn from us? Maybe more." They plugged in the black box. Images flashed across the screen, the alien symbols, the movement in the dark, the energy surges. Chen's face grew serious. "I believe you," she said quietly. This changes everything. If what's in this data is true, XR-17 wasn't just a failed mission. It was a doorway to something unknown." Rhea looked at her. "That's why I need you to tell MarsCorps the truth. Don't send more teams there without understanding what they're walking into." Chen nodded slowly. "You have my word." Over the next 2 days, Rhea helped the outpost staff go through the data. Scientists worked to understand the alien symbols. Engineers studied the power patterns. AI experts looked closely at the strange behaviors in the station system. Bram recovered quickly. He joined Rhea in the main lab, smiling for the first time in days. "You did it," he said. "You finished the mission." Rhea smiled back. "We both did." But even with the relief, something pulled at Rhea's heart. She had faced something terrifying and survived.
Now people listened to her. They respected her.
For the first time in years, doors were opening, yet she didn't feel complete. "What's next for you?" Bram asked one evening as they sat in the observation deck. "I don't know," Rhea replied. "I came here looking for a job, but I think I found something more." "Like what?" She looked at the stars. "Like purpose." Late days later, Commander Chen called her into the main briefing room. "Rhea," she said, "we've shared the data with MarsCorps High Command. They're impressed, and they're offering you something." Rhea tensed. "Another mission?" "No," Chen smiled. "A position. Lead analyst for unknown tech recovery. You'd have your own team, your own lab. You wouldn't be just." "Another name anymore?" Rhea's eyes widened. "They're serious? They read your report? Watched your recordings? They know you're the reason we even have this information?" Rhea didn't speak right away. Her chest was tight, not with fear, but with something warm. Something rare. "Hope I accept," she said finally. Later, as she packed her bag, Bram came by. "You're leaving?"
Yes.
Rhea said. "But not for a job, for something I believe in." "Good," he said. "You've earned it." "What about you?" he shrugged. "I might stay here, help others. I've seen too many good people lost. Maybe I can make sure it doesn't happen again." They shook hands. Take care, Bram. You too, Rhea, and thank you, as Rhea boarded the Mars Core transport ship. She took one last look at the stars. She had begged for a job. Every door had been closed. But one dangerous mission, the one no one wanted, had opened everything. Not just a door, a future. The transport ship hummed softly as it carried Rhea Morgan away from Outpost Helix 9. Outside the window, stars stretched endlessly, shining like distant promises. Rhea's heart was full, not with fear, but with hope. She had come a long way from the lonely corridors of the lower district, from the cold silence of XR-17's haunted station, from the moment when every door had closed on her, until the one mission no one wanted changed her life forever. Now, she was no longer invisible. The ship's intercom crackled. Approaching. Mars Core headquarters. All personnel prepare for docking. Rhea adjusted her suit, feeling the weight of her new responsibilities. Soon she would walk those halls, not as a hopeful applicant, but as a leader. A woman who had faced the unknown and survived. She thought of Bram Heller. He had stayed behind at Helix 9, choosing to help others who were lost. They had shared their fears and hopes, their moments of doubt and courage. She hoped one day their paths would cross again. Mars Core headquarters was a towering structure of glass and steel, orbiting quietly above a blue-green world. The station was alive with activity, ships docking, technicians moving quickly, and screens glowing with data. Rhea stepped out of the transport and into the bright hallways. The faces around her were new, but she felt ready in the conference room. A group of Mars Core leaders awaited her. Commander Alira Chen stood by their side, a proud smile on her face. "Welcome, Lead Analyst Morgan," Chen said. "We have much to do. Your mission now is to lead the team studying unknown technologies in lost stations, to protect humanity and explore the mysteries of space." Rhea nodded. "I'm ready." Days turned into weeks. Rhea's team worked tirelessly, decoding alien messages, repairing ancient machines, and sharing their discoveries with the universe. She found herself standing before a new door, not closed, but open wide. One day, as she studied the data, from XR-17, a message from her AI Delta beeped softly. Incoming transmission from an uncharted system. Possible alien signal detected. Rhea's eyes sparkled. The universe was full of secrets waiting to be found. She smiled quietly to herself. No longer a lost woman begging for a job, but a pioneer leading humanity into the stars. Later, in her quiet moments, she reflected on her journey. She remembered the cold metal halls, the whispering voices, and the terrifying machines of XR-17. She remembered the loneliness. But she also remembered something stronger: the courage to walk through closed doors, the strength to face the unknown, the hope to build a future. A new day dawned on Mars Core headquarters. Rhea stood at a large window, watching the stars. Somewhere out there, a new adventure waited. She took a deep breath and whispered, "Let's go."